Good afternoon, everyone. So what we have here is a CIA recommended bedside table setup. This is not a standard setup, so not every single person in the police force or CIA will recommend this exact setup. Whether or not it's the Canadian version or the American version, and what we're looking at right now is my Canadian version, because there's so many things that you just can't have or own in Canada. So starting off on the top left here, we have the Byrna pistol, which I mentioned and explained in the talk on the EDC utility list. As I mentioned before, it's not really something you want to be carrying around all the time concealed, because that becomes a concealed weapon in Canada, which is not a good thing to... It's immediately becomes illegal if they consider it a weapon, which this would be if you're carrying it around with you all the time. So this is a home defense tool, and because it's illegal to get these in Canada, I don't think you need a license or registration. You definitely don't need a background check. And in Canada, again, there's more restrictions. So you can shoot the kinetic rounds. These rounds are very hard rubber, I guess, and they don't, or I think plastic even, they don't squish. They just cause enormous pain. They're very powerful. You can get these with chemical rounds as well that shatter in, a 1.5 meter cloud of pepper and chemicals and stuff into tear gas. But those types of rounds are not allowed in Canada either. But just to explain them, there's the Byrna pepper rounds, which are... And these things shatter, right? So it creates that you don't have to aim perfectly. It's a 5% oleoresin capsicum, and then there's the Byrna Max rounds, which are which consist of OC and CS tear gas. The OC again being the oleoresin capsicum. So they seem to have abbreviations for these. You might just read it as OCCS in the ingredients list. Then next to that is the pocket pepper spray or the dog spray. You're only supposed to use these as a means of self-defense against dogs and wild animals in Canada. So you take it when you're hiking and out in the wilderness and stuff, but of course you keep it at home too. So why not keep it at your bedside table as a defense tool? Then there's the flashbang flashlight below. And it looks like a little baseball bat, but it's not a baseball bat here. And these images are more or less to scale. They're not perfectly to scale, but they're close. So this is a pretty long, heavy flashlight. And it's, it's like a law enforcement grade metal. It is hard, and I think it's pretty hefty too. So you're supposed to be able to use this as a baton, a defense baton. It comes with strobe and regular settings, low and high power. You can, I think supposedly you can, disorient the person with the brightness of this when you shine it in their face with the strobe feature or the high power. And when you're using this as a baton, you want to strike the weak parts of the body, right? So this is the throat, anywhere on the face, the nose, the mouth. And even, the head you can strike too, but you have to be careful because this thing is so strong and heavy that if you strike hard enough, it will crack the skull. It can be lethal, especially if you hit the side of the head or the temples. You can also aim for the sternum, which is, that spot just under your chest, the upper part of your belly. The really high part of your belly under your chest is really sensitive area. And you can also aim for the groin if you're dealing with men, burglars. Now we have the American version. So I've replaced the standard firearm with the non-lethal options here. We have a taser gun called the Taser Pulse 2. This is a very good one. It has a laser sight, so it basically aims for you. It shoots about 4.5 meter range, and it has 30 seconds of neuromuscular incapacitation. It hurts like heck. And I've kind of prioritized this from, safest to least safe, because something like this has a bit of range to it. You can keep a bit of distance from people when you're using them. The next gun on the next to it is, again, the Byrna pistol, which I just explained, and you can use the chemical rounds that shatter upon impact. Then we have pepper spray again, and then just underneath that we have a different kind of flashlight, a shorter one, and it's the Saber stun gun flashlight. This may not be able to use as a baton. It may not be as rugged or heavy or hard, but it's a stun gun, so you don't need to. You just can jab this in a person. You can jab and hold, or you can just kind of, intermittently jab the person, and it hurts like heck, and it gets them off your back. Then, again, there's the flashbang flashlight.